Brilliance Audio.
From the Corner of His Eye by Dean Koontz. Performed by Christopher Lane. Life was like the ice on an early winter pond, more fragile than it appeared to be, riddled by hidden fractures, with a cold darkness below. Besides, to Joe Lampion, Agnes was not in any way average, regardless of what she might think. She was glorious, unique. He didn't put her on a pedestal because a mere pedestal didn't raise her as high as she deserved to be raised. If he ever lost her, he would be lost too. Throughout the morning, Joe Lampion brooded about every known medical complication associated with childbirth. He had learned more than he needed to know on this subject months earlier, from a thick medical reference work that had raised the hair on the back of his neck more effectively and more often than any thriller he had ever read. At 12:50, unable to purge his mind of textbook descriptions of antepartum hemorrhage, postpartum hemorrhage, and violent eclamptic convulsions, he burst through the swinging door into the kitchen and announced, "All right, Aggie, enough. We've waited long enough." At the breakfast table, she was writing notes in the gift cards that would accompany the 6 blueberry pies that she had baked that morning. "I feel fine, Joey." Other than Aggie, no one called him Joey. He was 6'3", 230 pounds, with a stone quarry face that was all slabs and crags, fearsome until he spoke in his low musical voice, or until you noticed the kindness in his eyes. "We're going to the hospital now," he insisted, looming over her at the table. "No, dear, not yet." Even though Aggie was just 5'3", and, minus the pounds of her unborn child, less than half Joey's weight, she could not have been lifted out of the chair against her will, even if he'd brought with him a power winch and the will to use it. In any confrontation with Aggie, Joey was always Samson shorn, never Samson pre-haircut. With a glower that would have convinced a rattlesnake to uncoil and lie as supine as an earthworm, Joey said, "Please, I have pie notes to write so Edom can make deliveries for me in the morning." "There's only one delivery I'm worried about." "Well, I'm worried about 7, 6 pies and 1 baby." "You and your pies," he said with frustration. "You and your worrying," she countered, favoring him with a smile that affected his heart as sun did butter. He sighed. "The notes, and then we go." "The notes, then Maria comes for her English lesson, and then we go." "You're in no condition to give an English lesson." "Teaching English doesn't require heavy lifting, dear." She did not pause in her note-writing when she spoke to him, and he watched the elegantly formed script stream from the tip of her ballpoint pen as though she were but a conduit that carried the words from a higher source. Finally, Joey leaned across the table, and Aggie looked up at him through the great silent fall of his shadow, her green eyes shining in the shade that he cast. He lowered his raw granite face to her porcelain features, and, as if yearning to be shattered, she raised up slightly to meet his kiss. "I love you is all," he said, and the helplessness in his voice exasperated him. "Is all?" She kissed him again. "Is everything?" "So what do I do to keep from going crazy?" The doorbell rang. "Answer that," she suggested,